It scared him. But I'm just trying to communicate something to you that your life, you're like a plane heading for glory, okay? And your attitude will determine your altitude. Now, where do you think your altitude is right now? Let me ask you a question. Just ask yourself this question. Are you climbing toward the sun, or are you just kind of stable in flight, or are you actually in a nosedive? Help me. Where do you think you are? I can tell you one thing. There are times when my attitude stinks. Is that true with every human? Yes. Is that true with anybody? Yes. Does that give us a good excuse to say, well, so-and-so's like this, I guess I can't be? No. No. Let me communicate it this way. Say, why are you reading about the mouth? Why are you reading about the tongue? Well, the Bible says this, let me just read it to you. Let's go over it. I want you to read this with me, okay? So you can't say, well, he's just reading this up. This is out of Luke. And I want to read it to you. Let's Luke 6:44 through 49. Somebody run over there with me. Let's get this. Let me read this for you now. And I'll go on with what I have to say in a moment, okay? But I want to give you this first because the attitude is always something that comes out someday. Luke 6. I'm going to start at 44. I'm going to read through 49. Are you ready? It says this. Now listen to the words. For every tree is known by his, everybody say own, by his own fruit. For of thorns men do not gather figs, nor of a bramble bush gather they grapes. A good man out of the good treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is good. And an evil man out of the evil treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is evil. For of the abundance of the heart his mouth speaks. And why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? Whosoever calleth me, or cometh to me, and heareth my sayings, and do them, I will show you to whom he is like. He is like a man who built his house he built an house, and digged deep, and laid the foundation on a rock. And when the floods arose, the stream beat vehemently upon the house, and could not shake it, for it was founded upon the rock. But he that heareth and doeth not is like a man that without a foundation built an house upon the earth, against which the stream did beat vehemently, and immediately it fell, and the ruin of the house was great. Now I read all that to say this. The Bible says that out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaks, right? Did you know that your attitude could only be hidden just for a little while, and pretty soon it will come out of your mouth? Did you know that? Because out of the abundance of your heart the mouth speaks. Kelly's been, Kelly, where'd she go? She's not here. She must have to help somebody do something. She's always helping me with my attitude. Is your wife helping with your attitude? Maybe your wife's got a better attitude or worse attitude than you, I don't know. But I got this attitude. See, last night, I'll tell you one of my attitudes. I hate cattle. They're miserable wretches. There. Now, I got it off. That feels good. Them dirty beggars, they look for my gate. Well, the other night I was down there relaxing in my house. I just got out of the shower. I had little shorts on, I'm hanging out at the house, kicking it down there. And I'm thinking, you know what, it's getting a little bit late. I'm going to go lay down and take a nap. For about 9 hours. And then the phone rang. It was Cassie. And she came out to the church for something. She called me. She said, Dad, there's cattle all over. Right out by your shed. They're heading for your garden. I'm going, if I just had a shotgun, I'd kill all of them. But the problem was, immediately, Kelly says, you're mad, aren't you? I said, no, I'm happy. I'm thrilled. I just can't wait to go pet those cows. And she said, well, it was Maddie's birthday party. We're going to celebrate her birthday for a minute there. And we just got through doing some things. And we were going to, Kelly, now remember where I'm at because I'll forget. Kelly had built, I don't know if you read this, it's called Baked Alaska.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that stuff's fine. She got a brownie mix and she put it in there. She froze that thing solid. We bought some ice cream and she put a layer on there and froze that. And then she whipped up the egg whites and she put them on top and then she baked it in the oven for 3 minutes at 500 degrees. And whoo, boy, it made me sweat. It was so rich. Mercy, it's rich, but it's tasty. Anyway, we was fixing to eat that. We put candles on there, 13 candles for Maddie. And we were fixing to eat that in the phone rang. It was nasty, like I said. Here was the cows down there in the pasture. And I said, them dirty wretches, wait till the dark comes. And if I forget to close my gate, they make a run from the trough right straight to my gate. Yep. I'm sure they do. Yep. I'm sure they do. I told Kelly, I'm going to turn my bow down and I'm going to blunt their eyes, boy. Don't let the rancher hear this. Turn my bow down to about 35 pounds. Just draw back. Wow, just drive them out of there. You know. And Kelly told me, she said, I'm going with you because you're going to hurt me. I said, boy, I'd love to hurt her. See my attitude? Can you hear my attitude? See? Am I in the nosedive? Yes, I am. Boy, I want to kill them cows. Anyway, you got my point. I had to go out in my little shorts. I just stood on my shoes. When I got back, I had cuts all over my legs from running through the brush. But I was so mad I wanted to kill them cows. Well, we got them out. And Kelly really helps me out. She just looked at me. She said, I don't feel sorry for you. I said, well, thank you. She said, just remember to close the gate. I said, well, generally I would, but I just forgot to. So, anytime you come by my house, the gate's open, shut it. Anyway, I am convinced that I asked myself the question when we were going through all that. I asked myself this question. I don't know if you ever think this way, but I said, what would Jesus do? Would he just come and go out there and run those cows off? What would he do? How would he respond? What would he say? I had choice words for them cows. No, I don't hate cows. I just don't want them on my property because they just tear things up. And my garden's not the prettiest thing on earth, but it's the best I can do, so I don't want them cattle down there either. And I got a big patch of alfalfa. Boy, you know what? They love that stuff. There's an old black bull hanging out there. He knows that it's in there. And he makes a beeline for my gate. You know where he goes? Straight to my alfalfa. And he just leveled that stuff. Not that it won't come back, because it will. But I'd love to level him. Anyway, let me give you this. This is just out of the Webster's Dictionary for attitude. All right? I want to talk to you a little bit more about attitude in a minute, but let me give you some definitions. It's this: the position or posture assumed by the body in connection with an action, feeling, mood, etc. To kneel is an attitude of prayer. That's exactly out of the dictionary, just like that. Now, number two, it says this: a matter of acting, feeling, or thinking that shows one's disposition, opinion, etc. A friendly attitude. How many of you know the Bible says this: if you want friends, you do what? You show yourself friendly. You say, well, nobody likes me. Well, thank you. Well, you're probably hateful. You're probably mean. Nobody wants to be around you. Change your attitude. Maybe folks will like you. I mean, that's not hard to figure out, is it? All right. So you can see that there's actions to your attitudes. You can kneel and pray. That's an attitude of prayer. You can be friendly. That's an attitude. Simply that, being friendly. Let me give you the third one. One's disposition, opinion, mental set. Number 4. This is one I was reading. Ailerons, the position of an aircraft or spacecraft in relation to a given line or plane as of a horizon. And you know, there was 4 axes to an airplane, I believe it was. And you got to remember those axes because when you take the test, they'll ask you those. And one of the axes was this way. You know, it rotates on its wing this way, or it rotates on its nose this way. And so, you know, your attitude has everything to do with your flying. And I just wanted to relate that to you. You need to write this down. Attitude determines altitude.